Welcome and hello to the opening talk of the Open Futurelab. The Open Futurelab is the contribution of the Ars Electronica Futurelab to the festival. And today you will get the introduction of the projects that you can see when you visit us at the festival. And my name is Roland Haring. I'm the technical director of the Ars Electronica Futurelab, and I'm here with Hideaki Ogawa, who is co-director of the Ars Electronica Futurelab, but also Horst Hörtner, the senior director, and additionally today with Manuel Dobusch. And he's one of our researchers, and this very special thing which we are planning is that he will be controlling our double robot. And our double robot will be taking you through the Futurelab and will show you basically as a peek preview what you can expect when you come and visit us.
Welcome also from my side to this opening talk and actually experimental tour, if you want to say so. The idea of having this introduction, having the entire Open Futurelab, is a little bit different from what it was in the past years. It's the concept is trying to have a parallel session for the audience on site, but also distributing content for our online appearance. And this is more or less an online tour that we are going to do with our robot. So we're walking into the Futurelab that is in principle active in the fields of technology, art, technology, and society, as the entire Ars Electronica is. We're trying to foster this understanding of the principal fundamentals of scientific work, or science is generating knowledge. Technology is generating possibilities, but art is it that generates the meaning to it. And therefore, we try to take this artistic approach in our projects and try to visualize, formulate a vision together with our partners for the future, a future sketch, if you want to say so. And we want to present this to a wide audience, as wide as possible, so that the reason for this presentation is actually the ignition of a discussion. The ignition of, ignite a discussion, inspire and have this discussion with this broad audience, not only with the so-called trained audience in general about the different perspectives. And we do this by scientific exploration, by artistic expression, but also always with the social impact in the back of our minds. The Futurelab's about 39 members at the moment from all different disciplines, a very transdisciplinary work environment and workplace. And for this year, for the first time, we've started with what we call the Futurelab Ideas Expedition. The Futurelab Ideas Expedition was an invitation to the Futurelab members, to all of them, to contribute their ideas, their visions into this expedition, and we three have then selected the most promising ideas that we want to have them realized this year. And the Futurelab expedition is on show in the Futurelab.
Hideaki is an AI-based music composition system. It is trained with 25,000 pieces of music, and it's able to compose music that sounds natural, human, and is able to trigger emotional responses in us, like the music that we have in the training set. So this demonstration shows how human users can use the interface to compose new pieces of music.
with the pandemic, we're in the midst of a pandemic, and with the pandemic, that's Johannes, by the way, my colleague, and there's also Nicola and Julian, who are not there. We're in the midst of a pandemic, and social distancing, physical distancing is obviously a very important issue at the moment. And with that project in the deep space, we use the deep space to visualize what is distance, what happens, how it influences the infection chain and stuff like that.
And we try to show the infection in a kind of simulation-based real-scale situation, and the deep space is like a good place for that.
So, with Spotless, we asked the question if and how we can bring virtual communication more in the physical real world again. And how we approach this is we augment real life objects with a virtual layer, with augmented reality technology. And by this we can combine objects. We use the visual similarity of objects, like two similar cups of tea, and we connect them through their visual similarity. And if you interact with one item, then you at the same time interact with the other one, and by this you can use objects as communication channels.
I would like to explain the meaning of collaboration as Futurelab. Futurelab is really collaborating with broad collaborators from industries, government, and also education and research institutions all over the world. During the festival, you can enjoy many different types of the collaboration. Firstly, what I would like to introduce is about the social telepresence initiative between our Futurelab and the other many research institutions like NTT, R&D. Junji Watanabe is one of the researchers from the laboratory. We are discussing about what's the meaning of social telepresence rather than social distance. So in the age of COVID-19, so we needed to coexist with new normality. But we miss some really fundamental moments, fundamental points regarding the human presence and the meaning as humans. So what's the essence? What are we sharing over the network? Through those projects, by using a robot or new medium, we are illustrating what can we convey through the network and what's the fundamental things that we needed to share over the network. So we are researching this point through the social telepresence research. Not only this project, during the festival this year, we have very unique collaborative research with industries. One very interesting project is Cascade. Cascade is a collaboration with NHK, which is a Japanese broadcasting company. We are creating the new domains of usage of 8K technologies. So the idea of Cascade is now you can, imagine if you see this as a TV, as normal landscape, but what if this is going to be like this, horizontal? Do you recognize this is still TV? In the age of mobile phone, smartphone, that people are going to be also co-producer, what's the new frame to share the contents? In this way, Cascade is a new concept to really test the meaning of the frame of 8K technologies into our daily lives. Another project, what I would like to address is Future Inc. It's a collaboration with Wacom, which is a pen tablet company from Japan. we are thinking of future ink. What do you think about future ink? Ink used to be for paper, but now you can find many digital pen and digital ink. But beyond that, what can we find as elements as a future ink? What about space can be a paper, canvas, bio, AI, robotics, body, mind? How can we convert those elements to be a future ink? So you can experience our Open Future Laboratory as an experimental atelier, and to test many cutting-edge experiments during the festival. And also connecting to the social telepresence. During the festival, you'll see quite interesting red door. It's a part of, by the way, research of social telepresence. Do you know what this means? You know the metaphor of door. Door is always door for some different area, different places. But this is a door for virtual world. When you open the door, you can access to the virtual door. Actually, on the modular hubs, which is a platform, virtual platform to discuss the many things on the Ars Electronica Festival as an official virtual platform, we connected the modular hubs to be this environment. So in this way, when you open the door physically, you can see the virtual world. And if you access to the modular hub virtually, and if you open the door in the modular hub, you can see the real world. In this way, what can be the new interface? What is the seamless way? What is the new human interaction balance would be researched in this many types of collaboration.
Next, our double robot will take the elevator to the first floor, and there you will get the introduction to some of the key research topics at the Ars Electronica Futurelab. The Ars Electronica Futurelab has a very transdisciplinary approach to research. We really try to look at interesting topics in this field of art, technology, and society from many different perspectives. And this is why these research topics are also very deeply connected to the researchers, and that's also a way how we try to have a very dynamic system of topics and approaches, and that's why also these key research topics can change from time to time. And now we will have a look at some of these topics, and also with the introduction of the researchers. The first topic that we will look at is the topic of artificial collectives, and I see that Peter Holstein-Kwan, our researcher, is already there. And probably when Double Robot approaches him, we will get this short introduction to his topic.
Yes, hello, welcome. So artificial collectives is that's my key research topic, and it refers to really looking at groups of robots, groups of machines, swarms of drones, and so on, and just thinking about how they work together, how they can solve problems, how they can also be given more autonomy, and especially interesting for us at the Futurelab, how they can be expressive, how they can convey intention, emotion, and so on. So the root of this research direction was really in when we started with the Spaxels project, the drone light swarms that we started performing with in 2012 already, and really pioneered this as a new medium of visual expression. So you're probably by now very familiar with these groups, large swarms of LED drones doing choreographies in the sky. And that project led to, of course, knowledge and tools and further research that we wanted to look into. And in the recent couple of years, we started really expanding into different directions. And one area is that you can see here working with display bots, so integrating a completely different kind of robot into the system, and moving from LED pixels to video displays on the ground, like mosaic images.
Thank you very much, Peter. Sorry to interrupt you. We need to proceed on. I think Stefan Mittelböck is also already there, and he will give us a short introduction to the topic of poetic systems.
Hi everybody. Yes, indeed. I will try to tell you a few words just about this part of the exhibition. Here is seen or will be seen parts of poetic systems. Poetic systems, key research topic in the future already like quite a long time, and it deals with the idea that we are surrounded by a lot of systems, natural systems, artificial systems, and it is toying with the idea that all these systems are getting very complex, and we humans are not able anymore to grasp them, to understand them, and the idea is, especially in these projects, in these conjunctions of media art and architecture, that tries to create own poetic systems, which makes exactly this huge, not understandable systems legible again for us humans. There's just some projects are shown or will be shown, which tries to give a bit of a glimpse into this kind of poetic systems, what we are doing here in the future.
Thank you very much. And probably we can move on to the Oribots, which is a research topic of Matthew Gardiner, who is currently in Australia, but he also spent several years on the research on foldable robots and also the aesthetic of folding. And he is also continuing this work with a multi-year research project to extend this even further, and he will be remotely available during the Ars Electronica Festival. Perhaps when we move on to the co-immersive spaces, which is right behind of the Oribot installation, just have a short peek into the space there. So actually all of these spaces can be visited by you during the festival, and there will be additional introduction for each of these stations, so you can book also then tours for the Ars Electronica Open Futurelab. Here is the research topic of co-immersive spaces, which shows a VR application, which is basically the pyramids of Gizeh, which is also be shown here at the Deep Space, the place where we are right now, because there are several VR installations that we are researching on to find out basically how to realize collaborative and shared experiences with virtual reality. But this is something I think which you should try when you are there, and we should be moving on, I think, to the research topic of Ali Nikrank, which is the creative intelligence, and I think we just need to find our way out of the room. Ali, can you please give us an introduction to your research topic?
Okay, hello, and the topic here is about creative intelligence. It's about how we can use AI technology for creative applications like composing music, drawing, and all other creative tasks. And in these demonstrations, what I have is actually an AI-based music composition system that we are not using to compose music, but actually we are using for listening to music. What does it mean? It means we use the system and we visualize the activations of neurons in the system. The result is a actually nice visualization of the inner working of the music itself and of the AI system, and we can see what kind of neurons are active at which time in the music. So creative intelligence actually doesn't focus only on technology. We are also very interested in interaction and collaboration between human and machines. And also, of course, we are very interested as Futurelab generally in social and artistic impacts of the technology.
Ali, thank you very much.
May I shortly ask, Ali, you are also in the big concert night during the festival at the campus of the JKU and the Kepler's Garden, and you're also in a panel.
Yes, that's true.
Please tell us about.
The idea behind the concert night is we use the AI system I just showed you. It's called Ricercar, and it's an AI system that is able to compose music. But in this case, as I mentioned, it was not used to compose music, but actually to listen to music. But for the concert night, actually we used the system for what it was supposed to, namely to compose music. And the idea is to compose a piece of music, or actually two pieces of music, and share it with external and international artists. So based on the piece of music, they compose also their own music. And at the concert night, the pieces from human side will be played together with the piece with two pieces from the AI side. So they will be shared, so to speak.
What time? What day?
It will be on Friday. The concert begins at 7:30 p.m., but I think our part will be after 9 or 10 o'clock.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So this is also something you should definitely not miss at this year's Ars Electronica Festival. But perhaps we can move on to the installation of algorithmic apperception, which is the key research of Otto Naderer.
Welcome. Algorithmic apperception, my key research topic, revolves around the general question of how to integrate machines into our daily lives, into the space that we physically use. Now, to integrate machines most seamlessly, it is absolutely required to make the machines sense, interpret, and perceive the environment as human-like as possible. One key feature in most projects like this is usually a positioning system, so a machine knows precisely where it's at. And for this, in my exhibit, I'm exhibiting a laser ranging positioning system called Ferrous. These lasers to the left and to the right sense the environment. These outlines are interpreted and then displayed here on the display.
Thank you. We can move on from there right into our chat room to the left. And there we will get the introduction to two key research topics. One is art thinking and the other one is digital resonance. And I think, Hide, could you do the introduction of those two topics?
Yeah, for sure. As we talked, Futurelab believes the power of art. Art can be a catalyst for better society. So the idea of art thinking is to utilize artistic energy for creating new innovation, new ideas, and system for our society. So in this art thinking research, we are not creating, design. We are not focusing on the design itself, because design is creating solutions, and we believe art can really contribute to generate creative questions for our society. So in this research, we develop a tool set or environment to nurture such thinking or to foster such innovation process. Actually, during the festival this year, we have art thinking forum to exchanging the practices of artistic thinking in many sectors. This, by the way, event will be hosted together with our really important partner, Hakoro, which is Japanese communication firm from Japan. And also CQC, Creative Question Challenge, which is a new format invented through the art thinking exploration. This is a new format to discuss the most important mission and as well as a question for tomorrow in 30 minutes dialogue. We have a very unique Futurelab CQC during the festival. Please don't miss it.
And perhaps could you tell us also a little bit about Kyoko's research, the digital resonance?
For sure. Digital resonance, maybe connecting to out thinking, how to really create a new resonance rather than simple reactions or connections in digital society. Looking back history of media arts around 2000, there are many cutting-edge exploration for creating new interface and also new telecommunications. And the main focus of the design was like interaction design. So interaction means between the object, machines or PCs and human, those are the scope. But thinking about the social media and the network era now, so we can really consider the much broader design domains. So how to create a new resonance with people? How can we create a new impact for our society? This is all about content research for our society.
Okay, thank you very much, Hide. And I just want to remind you again, please book your tickets, come to the Open Futurelab, have a tour, and get this introduction to the topics by yourself if you have the possibility to come to Linz or when you are in the area. We would be happy to invite you at the Open Futurelab.
Well, as you could see, we are giving our best to do all the experiments that we can, sending a robot through hell. You did a perfect job, Manuel, by the way. Thank you very much. At least we had a lot of fun with showing you through the exhibition at the Futurelab. In addition, there will be a lot of fun coming. We're also having a special slot on the Future Inc. Project together with Wacom. One like this was a kind of experiment. There's many of those experiments that we try to foster and generate throughout that week. The CQCs, Hide mentioned already, with different researchers and different partners that we are talking about different topics as well. It's trying, like the entire world more or less at the moment is active, finding out new formats that would cope with our situation of social distancing and kind of turning social distancing into social proximity to a certain degree. And everything on the program that we have laid out so far is more or less an experiment towards that target, towards that goal, including the Mozilla Hub, including, of course, the web and the streaming that you're looking right now, but also on the formats that we are working on for the on-site exhibit. So enjoy the festival. Thanks a lot. Bye.